Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
We are ready for the event.
Houston ACR, this is Mission Control. Houston, please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear.
Great, thank you. Stand by for opening remarks.
Welcome to our in-flight educational downlink with Nebraska 4-H and the International Space Station astronauts. 1 in 3 age-eligible youth in Nebraska are engaged in the 4-H program, which equates to 140,000 young people. This downlink is part of our Launching Nebraskanauts into the Foreseeable Future program, where we are focusing on teaching college and career readiness skills, specifically collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking through STEM-related learning opportunities. In 4-H, we believe in the power of young people. We see that every child has valuable strengths and real influence to improve the world around us. With that, let's launch into the first question.
Hi, my name is Connor. I'm from Sarpy County in Nebraska. My question is, how do you get chosen to go to space?
Thanks for the question, Connor. Once we get selected as astronauts, we go through about a 2-year process of astronaut training. And once we come out of that, then we're technically able to be assigned to a mission. But it usually takes many more years of training and working in our office, different jobs supporting other people that are launching before we get the call to go to space by our boss. So we work really hard, and hopefully we get the chance in a career to fly in space at least once. And if you're lucky like most of us, you get to do it a few times.
Hi, my name is Abby Lindsley. I am from Butler County in Nebraska. My question is, what knowledge, skills, and experiences should astronauts have to qualify for this job?
Thanks for that question, Abby. Most of us in the astronaut office have backgrounds in engineering or science and in technical fields. Some folks come from the military and have operational skills, but I would say in general that the skills that we need to have are similar to the skills that you're working on in your program. So it's important to be a really good team member, to be able to work in a group to solve problems, so collaboration is really important. We train really hard to face any experience that might come up, but sometimes you have to be creative to solve problems. You need to be able to communicate really well amongst your team members and also with the team members on the ground. And cooperation is just, in general, really very important for us. Critical thinking as problems come up and trying to think of different ways to solve them. So those are the skills that you're working on. Those are the skills that are important for us.
Hi, I'm Madeline from Douglas County. How do you overcome the language barrier when working with astronauts from other countries?
It's a great question. Thanks, Maddie. I think first of all you have to work hard on languages. It never ever comes easy, but it's very valuable. And you have to study. You have to. There's a lot of stuff on the internet that you can get to get to an intermediate level. And then for the next step, you have to go abroad. I mean, you have to immerse yourself in another culture, and that's what everybody does. I mean, we train in Russia, we train in NASA in Houston, Texas, we train in Europe, we train in Japan. You go there, you meet the people. And that's how you learn foreign languages. You have to be willing to, get out of your comfort zone. And sometimes you feel like you can't express yourself as well as you wish you would. But I think the result is it goes a long way, and then you learn a lot about other cultures, about other people. That opens up your mind and is fantastic. So I think a lot of hard work and being willing to, go there, take the extra step, and get out of your comfort zone.
Hi. My name is Marlene. I am from Sarpy County in Nebraska. My question is, how does the space station stay up there?
We stay in this in orbit of about 250 miles above the Earth because we're going the speed that we're going. So we're going really fast, but we're not going too fast. And if we slow down, then we'd start coming down. However, Earth's gravity is still pulling on us a little bit. So we do decay our orbit a little bit every day. And every so often, we'll have to reboost it back up to about 250 miles. And then we just stay at a constant speed of about 17,500 miles an hour.
Hi, my name is Rylan. I'm from Sarpy County in Nebraska, and my question is, Why is there no gravity in space?
Well, Rylan, where we are, which is still pretty close to our planet, there is gravity. So we still feel the effects of gravity. Our Earth is a massive object, so it still has gravity as far out as we are, and actually still much farther out. So we would need to get going a whole lot faster in our rocket to get all the way away from Earth and keep going, which is a good thing for us because we want to stay in orbit around the Earth. We're actually in a free fall, so it's as if we are falling and falling around the planet. And as Shane said, if we started going much slower than we are right now, we would come right back down to Earth. So that's what we do when we get ready to come home, basically, is we slow down so our spaceship can come back to Earth.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Hilgerman. I am from Lancaster County. My question is, if you have a toaster in space, do you have to chase the toast when it pops out?
This is a fantastic question, and the answer is yes. I mean, we don't have a toaster for a couple of reasons. First of all, crumbs. We cannot have crumbs in space. Imagine they would float everywhere. They would get into your eyes, into our expensive technological equipment, into our science experiments. So toasters are banned. But if we had one, yeah, when the toast springs out, then you would have to chase it. And it happens sometimes with our food. We try to be very careful, but sometimes there's food that floats out of the package unbeknownst to us. And when we're doing our cleaning on Saturdays, I can tell you sometimes we find food on the ceiling, we find food in places where it shouldn't be. So yeah, you have to be careful with your food. That's one of the few things you have to relearn when you get to space, is how to eat and take care of food.
Hi, I'm Garrett Schultz from Phelps County, and my question is, what's the biggest problem you've had to solve while in space?
Hey, Garrett. Well, we get to solve little problems every day. Thank goodness we have the mission control teams around the world that are also with us and helping us solve these problems. We've had a few things that happen while we've been up here. A few smoke alarms have gone off, and we kick into gear with our training. We respond just like we did in training, and the great folks on the ground taught us how to do that. And then we just start working the procedures with our crewmates, who are very well trained, and I'm very happy to be up here with them. So we get the chance, I would say an opportunity, obviously, to solve problems every day. And then when the big ones come up, it's not that big a deal for us. We just rely on our training and the expertise of the crew members and the ground teams.
Hello, my name is Carson Ryman, and I'm from Dawson County, Nebraska. My question is, how, when scientists are doing spacewalks, how do they decide who gets to go outside of the space station for their missions?
Well, for any crew that's going into space, our plan is for everyone to be trained to do spacewalks. There might be a number of spacewalks during a given mission, and there might be none at all. So it's important for everyone to have the training to do all of the different tasks, to give flexibility so that we can get everything done that needs to get done. There's not just spacewalks. There's obviously lots of science experiments going on. There's robotics going on. So everybody gets training in all of these areas. And then when it comes time to actually send a couple people out the door, we try to make sure that everybody gets the opportunity to do that and choose a mix of skills that's going to guarantee success when they get out there.
Hello, my name is JC Wolfinger. I'm from Dawson County, Nebraska, and my question is if you get in a disagreement with other astronauts, how do you solve that problem?
It's, again, a great question. I think, so first of all, I think the part of the selection process is to pick people that are easy to work with, because we know we're going to stay for a long period of time inside a tin can. There's no possibility to, go out and, meet other people. And you don't choose your crew members, even though now we're like a family. We know each other very well sometimes before we started the mission. So it's important to be flexible. It's important to be somebody who's easy to get along with, who's easy to work with. And there's more than one way to do things, and you have to be ready to believe, to let go, and to believe that your way of doing things is not necessarily the way your crewmates see it. And so there's a lot of adaptation going on. You have to adapt to the people. You have to be able to communicate. When something's wrong for you, you also have to be able to say it without creating a conflict. So a lot of skills, like Megan was saying, those skills that you're working on, they're used, I think, for us every day for being able to work together and to get along, even though the mission is long and we're away from our loved ones. But still, we managed to get the job done and to be friends at the end, I think.
Hi, My name is Maithili Venkatesh. I am from Douglas County, Nebraska. My question is, how fast does the International Space Station travel?
There's a couple ways I like to think of the speed. One is miles per hour, so that's 17,500 miles an hour, which is really fast. Gets us around the Earth about every 90 minutes. Another way to think of it's about 5 miles per second. So that's pretty crazy to think of.
Hi, my name is Ashlyn from Sarpy County in Nebraska. My question is, what is the most difficult experiment you have done at the International Space Station?
Ashlyn, we get to do a whole bunch of different kinds of experiments. Some of them are quite simple for us. As astronauts, we are maybe changing out a cartridge in a box that is run from the ground by the scientists on the ground. Other experiments are very complicated, where we are hands-on and we're mixing samples and incubating them and then analyzing them. So one that was more complicated was called celestial immunity. It was actually one of the very first ones I worked on up here, and it looks at immune function and what we can learn about that in microgravity.
Hi, my name is Franklin, and I'm from Madison County, Nebraska. My question is, I know gravity would be challenging, but have you ever tried playing sports in space? And have you ever tried doing any trick shots?
Yes, we do play sports, as a matter of fact. But so when you show up here, you realize that sports have been designed for Earth with gravity in mind. If you think of basketball, like your shoot is going to go up, it's never going to go down. So it's extremely difficult to score a basket and things like that. But nevertheless, we've tried to come up with ideas of sports that can be played, in weightlessness. It's not that easy. It's not as easy as it seems, and we don't want to kick into things, and hit into our equipment around us. But we've been lucky enough to be here during the Summer Olympics in Tokyo recently. So we came up with our own Space Olympics, and we had our own games. One of them was no handball. We're just blowing on a ping pong ball, to score goals against the other team. And that's what we came up with. It was probably not the best sports ever. We were making up the rules as we went. But, if you spend some time, if you dedicate some time, some energy, you could probably come up with some great games designed for weightlessness.
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm from Garden County. My question is, what does the Milky Way look like from space?
Awesome question. We've had the chance to see it a few times while we've been up here when we look out the window at night, and it looks amazing. It doesn't look a whole lot different than it does from Earth. We don't have the atmosphere to look through, of course, so it's a little bit cleaner, I would say, but it's so far away that it's not much. We're not that much closer to it.
Hi, my name is Parker Walhosky. I'm from Dawson County, and my question is, what kind of beef do you guys get on the space station?
Well, the food that we have up here has to be treated to be shelf stable. We don't have big refrigerators. We can't go out for fresh food. So some of our food is dehydrated, and this is an example of a dehydrated beef patty. It actually does taste like a pretty good burger, but it's been dehydrated, so we have to add hot water and then wait a little while before we can eat that one. And then this is a beef steak that's been irradiated to be shelf stable. So it's not quite as good as the fresh steak you might be able to cook for yourself at home, but we like it just fine.
Hi, my name is Riley, and I'm from Sarpy County in Nebraska. My question is, has the space station ever been hit by something in space?
Yes, it has. As a matter of fact, it's been hit many times, but by very small objects. We were able to track from the ground using those big, radar antennas, big objects, bigger than 2 or 3 inches. And if there's a conflict in trajectory, we can predict that we're going to be hit by those objects, and we can move the space station out of the way. And we do this once in a while, not too often. But the smaller objects, they hit us all the time. I mean, not all the time, but once in a while. But we have thick, metal walls. walls, and we're designed to withstand those impacts. But if you go to the cupola, which is our observation window, we look out at the Earth, at the stars, etc. You see some small hits, like on the windshield of a car, like we've been hit by some tiny pieces of metal or dust or rock. We don't even know. But again, the space station is designed to resist to those impacts, and we're doing just fine.
Hello, my name is Colby. I'm from Hall County. My question is, when and what do you do when you exercise on the station?
Exercising up here is very important to us so we don't lose our bone density or bone mass. And we have several different things to use. Excuse me. We have an exercise device. It's really incredible that you can do anything you can do in a gym on this one machine. So we can bench press and squat and deadlift and do curls. And it's pretty amazing. We do that about an hour every day. And then we do about an hour of cardio on a bike or a treadmill that we have up here. And just think about how those might work, because they're very different than the ones in your gym at home.
Hi, my name is Javier from Sarpy County, Nebraska. And my question is, when an astronaut comes back from space, do they sometimes drop things because they're expecting them to float?
That's a great question. I have never actually done that, but this will be the longest time that I have spent in space when I come home. One of the things I love about being in space is that I can stick even heavier objects right to the Velcro on my pants and carry them around with me that way when I'm zooming around the space station. I won't be able to do that, obviously, when I get back to Earth, so I expect that I'll be dropping some things on those first couple of days.
Hi, my name's Paige Wolochowski. I'm from Dawson County, and my question is, how do you communicate with your family in space?
So we're lucky enough to be able to do this, and it was not always the case at the beginning of human spaceflight a few decades back or a few years back. But now on the space station, we have an IP phone, which means we can call pretty much, not all the time, but pretty often when we have communication coverage, we can call any number we want, and sometimes you even you dial the wrong number. Somebody picks up and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, and they never know that they got a call from the space station, which is pretty funny if you're asking me. But once in a while, we also have video chats with our families and friends and loved ones about once a week, pretty much. And that's hugely important for us to stay in touch with those people, because we're going to be away from them. We want to keep communicating, and that gets us, keeps us in a good spirit throughout the entire mission. So yeah, we also have email, by the way, and we have a limited internet connection. It's not lightning speed, but it's pretty adequate for a space station.
Hi, my name is Landon. I'm from Garden County. My question is, what does Earth look like in space?
Our planet Earth is absolutely stunning and beautiful. I wish you all could have the ability to see it like we do. We try to do it every day, at least several times, looking out our windows. We don't have a lot of windows up here, but we do want to take time every day to look at our incredible planet. Hopefully you can see, if you're on social media, or you can get somebody to show you some of the pictures that we've been taking and follow that, or even see live downlinks of video from the International Space Station's cameras. It's truly spectacular. To me, it doesn't matter where we are in the world. I just see beauty in different ways, whether we're over a desert or the Bahamas or mountain peaks. They're all extremely striking and beautiful to me.
Hi, my name is Chrissy. I am from Sarpy County, Nebraska. My question is, what do you do for free time on the space station?
Well, one of the things we all love to do, as Shane mentioned, is we do love to look out the windows that we have back at our planet, and sometimes take photographs of some of our favorite places. That's a nice pastime for all of us. We also will spend time phoning our friends and family on Earth. I like to read, and so I'll read books up here, and also sometimes watch TV programs or movies.
Thank you to NASA and the astronauts on the International Space Station for taking the time to answer questions from our young people across the state of Nebraska. We would also like to thank all of the educators, professionals, and volunteers with our education, business and industry, and organizational partners who help make this experience out of this world. Nebraskanauts, have a wonderful rest of your day at Mission Control in Grand Island and at our satellite locations across the state.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.